Contrary to popular belief, life does not give you what you want. Life does not give you what you believe you deserve. Life only gives you what you demand as far as expectations are concerned. In today's video, we are talking about how to brainwash yourself for success by focusing on best practices that can yield tremendous return as far as your daily routine are concerned. All right? You don't want to miss this one. Dimitri, let's get right into it. I know that as far as today's presentation is concerned, a few people are going to be quite upset, and that's okay. Because at the end of the day, my job here is not to be a people pleaser. My job here is not to come in and try to be as nice as possible. My job here is to come and serve a few people exactly what they're looking for as far as how to become the best version of themselves. And in order for me to reach that particular goal, is what I need to actually deliver as far as today is concerned. As far as life is concerned, it will only meet you at your point of need. If your need is low, life will only find a way to create a process of homeostasis to come and give you exactly something that corresponds with where you are mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. But when you start elevating the temperature, when you start going up and simply say, my goodness, the standards by which I used to live 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, do no longer correspond with the man or the woman I'm becoming. I need to start raising my standard. I need to start raising my expectation. I need to start raising my point of view as to what exactly I'm expecting out of life. What's going to happen is, at first, people may think that you are crazy. But slowly and surely, as long as you remain faithful to what you are actually declaring as your new stance, and as long as you're also willing to deliver the right amount of work as far as your new level is concerned, slowly but surely, life is going to come and meet you at your point of need. That's how things always go. You then have to find a way to sit down and ask yourself, what is it that I'm demanding? Am I settling for less? Or am I placing demands that may seem unreasonable to common people out there, but ultimately demand that's going to yield the type of result I'm looking for? That's the key question that you have to consider. In 1886, somewhere in Germany, Karl Benz and his wife Bertha Benz put together a car that came to be known as the first prototype as far as the car industry is concerned. But that was basically a three-wheel invention that was actually moving, being jet propelled by fuel as we know it today. That was the first one. And around the same time, another gentleman by the name of Daimler put together also a prototype that was going to be also jet propelled by fuel. And this prototype, unlike Carl Benz, his prototype had 4 wheels. So in the history of Carl, his prototype was now considered the first prototype of its kind. And he was so proud of himself at the time, to the point where he said himself, Daimler, I go by this principle as far as life is concerned. The best or nothing. It's either you give me the best or I'm not going to accept anything you're going to present to me. That was his philosophy as far as work is concerned. In other words, he got into the habit of demanding the very best as far as life is concerned. And that was the standard by which he was actually operating as far as business is concerned. But guess what? Around the same time, there was a gentleman in the country known as Austria, more specific in the city known as Vienna, who was doing phenomenally well as a business person, to the point where he relocated from Vienna all the way to a part of France known as Nice. And as he got there, He got news of a breakthrough in the world of technology, that people were moving from horse-led carriages and are moving to this type of carriages that were now being jet propelled by fuel or gas. So he said to himself, I need to order myself one of these because after all, I have money. Money is no object as far as I am concerned. He placed the first order. That was in 1897. The car arrived. He looked at the car and he was disappointed. He said, I thought that this man, Daimler, was going by this model, the best or nothing. But the car that he sold me, this garbage. How can I possibly ride around town in this car that has only 2 cylinders and 6 horsepower? Unacceptable, he said to himself. Because he said, I'm expecting much more out of this car than this 2 cylinders and 6 horsepower. As a matter of fact, the top speed of the car is only 25 kilometers. Back then, that seemed very fast. But in his mind, because he was so far ahead of his time, he said, no, 25 kilometers is way too slow. I demand much more than this. So he got a hold of Daimler's company. He says, I would like to place an order for 3 more cars, but I would like for you to increase the speed because 25 kilometers is way too slow for me. So this gentleman, all of a sudden, he became not only the worst customer as far as Daimler is concerned, but also the best. It was the worst because it was extremely demanding, but it was the best because now, all of a sudden, Daimler seems to have met his match. Someone was simply living by the motto, the best or nothing. It says 25 kilometers is way too slow. Increase the speed. They shipped 3 more cars. It was actually up to 40 kilometers per hour, which was a major breakthrough at the time. And guess what? Immediately next simply said, no, that's still way too slow. I'm going to order more, but you have to find a way to increase the speed because I am a man on the fast lane as far as life is concerned. And as life will go, he wanted to become the representative as far as Daimler's car were concerned in France. But around the time, there was already another gentleman representing Daimler's interests in France. But in the meantime, Emile Jelinek was already entering races around Nice. And whenever they asked him for the name of his car, he would simply say, the name of the car is simply Mercedes. Because that was the name of his first daughter. Mercedes, which in Spanish simply means favor. Because he said, I believe that this car is going to bring me some kind of favor. And this is why I'm going to call the car Mercedes. And guess what? Because he was not now entering races and making a name for himself. Number one. Number two, because he was also ordering so many cars as far as the company is concerned. Eventually, when they decide to join forces and put something together formally, what they decide to use as the name as far as the car is concerned, Mercedes. I'm going to stop writing. No, of course, I'm not going to stop writing. In 2006, I believe, 2006, if I'm not mistaken, about 18 years ago, a brilliant professor, I believe, out of the University of Stanford, by the name of Professor Carol Dweck, came up with a beautiful research that simply confirmed something really key. The research simply said that people with a growth mindset who are basically not intimidated by any obstacles, who as a matter of fact are going to be looking at obstacles as a springboard to better future, who are basically going to put such demand on themselves and around them, are always going to be in a place where they're going to be outperforming people with a fixed mindset. And with this, she simply went on to confirm the following. Everyone, as far as life is concerned, is to some degree a prophet of their own success or their own defeat. You are a prophet of your own elevation or your own demise by the type of demand or lack thereof that you place upon life. If you show up and simply say, whatever you're going to give is going to be okay, guess what? That's going to be the beginning of the end for you. But when you show up and simply say, no, this is not good enough for me, I demand and I deserve much more than this, slowly but surely, life is going to, oh my goodness, level up in order to meet you at your point of need. Just 4 key principles I would like for you to consider when it comes to practices to observe on a daily basis. Number one, that's a very basic one. Number one, I would simply say, keep visualizing on a daily basis exactly what you want to achieve. Not just in the morning when you want to close your eyes and put yourself in a place when you are thinking about it, but also throughout the day. Place different objects or reminders around your office, around your home, that simply keep you anchored as far as where you want to go is concerned. Visualization, that must be key as far as who you are is concerned. Number one. Number two, open your mouth. Like Emil Jelinek, open your mouth and speak. Speak up, because your voices carry great power. You are a spiritual being having a physical experience as opposed to a physical being having a spiritual experience. And in the spiritual realm, what actually drives things is simply the word that you speak. They carry life and they carry death, and they carry basically orders that life has to execute. Again, visualize. Number two, affirmation. Number three, get back to a place where you simply put, my goodness, a demand upon everything that you do on a daily basis to elevate the standard of excellence as far as life around you is concerned. Because once you do that, my friend, you're going to slowly but surely start elevating yourself at the level of Emil Jelinek in 1897, and how it went on to revolutionize the world as far as cars are concerned. Last but not least, my friend, I'm simply going to ask you to demand a certain level of tenacity as far as you are concerned. Simply say to yourself, yes, I'm not here for the short term, I'm here for the long term. Things may not be going well right now, but I'm here for the long term. So therefore, I'm going to simply going to grow the massive tenacity, because through the massive tenacity, slowly but surely, you're going to start bending life to a point where life is now start giving you exactly what you put as a demand on the table. And this is simply key. And let me just end with a much more contemporary example to illustrate what I just said to you. This young man, Elon Musk, the reason why he's so successful as far as business is concerned, you do want to know why it is? Because it's simply a man that walks around with higher standards. He simply goes around and simply says to SpaceX, no, whatever we're doing here is not good enough. I need to go to a place where the best or nothing must be the daily reality of our operation. He goes to this company known as Tesla. He said, no, the best or nothing has to be the motto by which we actually operate. In other words, life is not going to give us what we simply hoping it will give us. Life is going to give us simply what I, as the CEO of this organization, will be actually demanding of life, and that's how things are going to go. And he brought the same mentality to his latest operation with X, formerly known as Twitter, and the same thing is now also happening as far as the growth that this company is actually encountering. All right, so again, in summary, the one key thing to remember is life will only meet you at your point of need. If you're not placing any demand as far as life is concerned, you are simply content with the low-hanging fruits, my friend. Slowly but surely, you're going to start stunting your own growth and become simply okay with what you say, with all the crumbs coming your way and not asking for more. And as you become this type of person, life will simply start disregarding you and giving the best food to the people where simply the tenacity and the boldness to ask for all the fruits, the best fruit, at the top of the tree that you are actually considering. And this is again key. 4 key things to actually consider again on a daily basis. Visualize, affirm, bring excellence to your standard in everything that you do. Interaction with yourself, interaction with the people around you, and last but not least, put yourself in a place where you simply demand a certain degree of tenacity as far as what you're doing is concerned. Don't focus on the short term, focus on the long term. All right, I'm gonna stop right here. Before I go, just one key thing. If you are the place precisely where you are now ready to start demanding the best of the best as far as life is concerned, my friend, then you have come to the right place. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, and make sure to leave a comment in the comment section telling me exactly what you are working on, and make sure to share this result with as many people as possible. And last but not least, one key thing I'd like for you to consider is just jump also on the link below this video, and you want an ebook I put together for you, and you can use this material as well to simply start brainwashing yourself to get to the proper place as far as how to develop the best practices to bring you to a place where success becomes simply a daily reality. All right, much love. I'm out.